Hello and welcome back to Guunter's rug factory. His job today was creating the rug machine. Unfortunately, the midget roof has proven to be unsustainable and therefore he rose it by 2 blocks. This process was fairly tedious and he wondered why couldn't he have hired the goddamned slaves to do this. But then he realized that the design must be perfect and only he is able to create the perfect rug factory. He finished creating the white room and then marveled over his beautiful building, feeling proud and satisfied. Using the sensor to open the door also brought a great feeling. He is such a good engineer. Now he wanted to use the elevator. Pa jebem ti mater, šta je ovo? Guunter's confidence went to shit, but he knew how to fix this. He had to crouch under the elevator and at the risk of death he pressed the button and quickly retreated himself from the deadly platform. Everything worked as it should, so he started designing the rug machine. This machine turns raw materials into rugs. The base is metallic and it fills this entire side of the room. The corner has this large box that will process the materials. At first he wasn't sure how to design the box, so he closed off one of the sides and left a narrow gap in the middle. This is where the materials will get pushed through. He also added 2 levels of blocks within the box. This should help with any platforms that he decides to create inside. Guunter needed to create the rug press, a device that would flatten the materials so the rugs could be smooth and ready for usage. He added these 2 large rotating pipes, one under another, right where the gap from the box was. Whenever the materials get pushed outside, the rug pressing pipes will create the rugs. The area after the big pipes is for smaller pipes that would roll the rugs towards the end, which has this large slanted block that slides the rugs to the edge of the platform. Once enough rugs have accumulated in this area, that is separated with a blue fence, the slaves will pick them up and carry them to the rug testing facility. The beginning of the machine was empty, so Guunter added these large tanks that would transfer the materials into the box. The box was a very large motherfucker to Guunter. His first plan was adding a door that would close when the materials entered it. The sensor would automatically close the door, and that seemed like a pretty good idea so far. Now the platforms within the box were the motherfucker Guunter didn't want in his life. The idea here was to add platforms that would first raise the materials and then push them through the gap. Given the tight space of the box, placing them was quite irritating. The additional blocks he placed in the floor allowed him to create a small lifting platform, but this process didn't go without pain. Due to the size of the box, Guunter was crouching the entire time he was building, and this hurt his finger, so he deleted the roof so he could stop pressing the stupid control button. You can't see him pressing the button because of the perspective, but trust me, his finger was ready to die. The small lift was completed, and activating it would activate the door as well, because of the sensor, so in the end everything would work. Unfortunately, Guunter did what any idiotic engineer would do. He connected both the door and the lift to the same sensor. Now, when the sensor detected his movements, everything activated, and since the sensor was in line with the lift, he got stuck in the box. Nicely done, Guunter. Nicely done. He made a hole in the door and escaped, but he learned a very important lesson. Activating things while being in a box is not a good idea. He clearly didn't watch enough Saw movies. This time he added a switch on the outer side and connected everything to it. Now it all worked without him risking his life. The pusher was next. The design itself was very simple. It's essentially a sideways elevator. The only issue was the length, something many find impossible to correct. Luckily, Guunter is capable of great things and he simply extended the so-called arms of the pusher. It didn't exactly go all the way to the gap, but perhaps this is better, because now the materials won't get damaged and the rug press will simply roll out the entire rug and pull the materials by itself. The box was now completed. Upon pressing the switch, the door closes and the lift rises. Once the door closes, the pusher activates and pushes the materials into the gap. However, just placing the materials onto the track is very unsafe, and death at work brings heavy punishment from the gods of Petardia. So Guunter needed to design yet another platform that would safely transfer the materials. He extended the metallic base onto which he planned to build the required platform. The goal here was to raise the materials and rotate them onto the track and then drop. Unfortunately, Guunter lacks perspective, so he built a regular lift and attempted to change the rotations of the joints in order to move the platform above the track, similar to the basement generator. This entire idea was very shit, and he eventually realized that this entire platform should be on a rotating block. Then, all he needed to do was rotate the entire thing once the materials were in the air. This magnificent design brought a lot of joy to Guunter, but he still needed to drop the materials. To do this, he removed the carrying surface and added bracers on both sides. Now, when the materials are above the track, these bracers can simply open and drop them. Obviously, the platform was too low, so closing the hatch presented a problem, since the materials would be in that position, but Guunter didn't give enough fucks to care about that. He tried to test it using a crate, and while the hatch closing was slightly derpy, the materials did stay on the track. Next step was motorizing the track so the materials can reach the box. He connected them to the engines in the basement and activated. The testing crate got flung into the box, which is perfectly fine and safe. So now, when everything has been connected and prepared, let's do a full test. Some would say that this was slightly unsafe, but some are also little bitches. The gods were pleased and the rug machine is now fully functional. The very act where the materials get processed into rugs is something nobody is allowed to physically see, so unfortunately this is where Guunter decided to go to sleep. Perhaps when he wakes up, the mighty power of this planet will grant him some rugs. Thanks for watching, and I hope you like the rug machine, as it is the first and only rug machine that exists in this universe. I have been Petard, your glorious lord, and may the blessings of Petardia eternally touch your butt. Pa jebem ti, vidio, vidi, pička ti materina. I vremenu, i Bogu. Sere govna. Da, grmi jebem ti mater, ajde, grmi opet. Grmi, ajde, još malo. Pička ti materin, ajde, još malo.
Ovo nije nos, odnijelo mi je kišobran. Smočilo je mene. Moju jaknu, moje trapince, moje čarape.
A jedi govna, prestani. Thunder Battle. Ha, Thunder Battle, da. Idiote. Jebem ti grmljavinu i Boga. Isusa Krista, pičku, ubiću sve ću ih pobiti. Jebem ti.